Doom Eternal Update 2 is out, and I'm going to be covering things the patch notes left out that you need to know that's combat related so you don't get surprised. We're talking about a Marauder patch, Gladiator buff, Kakko buff, general enemy changes, Blood Punch, Invasion Prep, DLC lore, quick switching changes, and more. My name's Austin, let's dive right in. The first thing we're going to talk about is about the only thing that was in the patch notes for this run. It is the Marauder. He has been patched. You remember this strategy? Oh, that's so funny. Oh, that's ended before it even started. Here's what happens when you try to do that now. He completely ignores the ice bomb. It went over his head. Normally, I would have been able to roast him with some rockets right there. But if you're on 1.2, don't do it. How do you handle him? Hugo has 3 ways. The beginner is a 1 cycle, like an SSG shot. The next intended way, the intermediate level, is 2 cycle, SSG ballista. And then once you've mastered that, you can go on to the advanced ballista, SSG ballista, or vice versa. It really just depends. You can also throw in more frag grenades and remote detonation, though he seems very dodgy around that. Maybe it's just me, let me know below. And I think that it's going to add some extra challenge to the Marauders based off my testing that I've already done. You cannot use the ice bomb to delete them anymore. That was not intended. It was an exploit according to id Software. As far as earning your black belt and the game's mechanics, you were not supposed to be able to do that, so it has been fixed. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with this. Should have that happened or not happened? Very curious to hear what you think. The Gladiator has received a buff not mentioned in the patch notes, so I'm covering it here. I'm showing you an old version of the Gladiator just so you can kind of see what, look, pay real close attention here, see what happens. Okay, the first thing we have to mention about the Gladiator, his stagger recovery time is less. I want you to take a look and compare A and B and see what I mean. So this means that after he staggers, just like this, see how long it takes for him to turn around? He just lets me hit him forever before he turns around. That is much less time now. How does this affect your combat? Well, if you want to go in for the best damage per second possible in the Gladiator, that's what you do. And now you have less time to do that. He will react more quickly and turn around and try to hit you. So that means you get less damage and possibly making the fight longer. This is effective both in Phase 1 and Phase 2. The thing about Phase 2 is he was a little harder to make that happen because he would always be by the walls, so you would have to be beside another wall next to him. You couldn't really get behind him, and plus he seemed to be more aggressive in Phase 2 anyway. Whenever he did the ropes charge to the middle, that was your chance to get him into the middle of the arena, to stagger him, let him recover, and hit him there. You now have less time to do that. Therefore, he is buffed. Now we're going to take a look at Bowsr's clip that he just submitted with the 1.2, showing off some of the different changes, and you can see how the stagger recovery is actually quite a bit shorter. When you really compare the two and you think about it side by side, that's going to make a decent difference. But the second buff is the one that's actually going to affect in a quite big way. Rockets and lock-on have been nerfed against the Gladiator. They will now do less damage, and if you compare the health bar, if you compare and you really look and see how much each rocket does, it is noticeable, very noticeable. When Bowsr did his testing, he said that 9 rockets in the old patch did more damage than 12 rockets on the new patch. That is at least a 25% change by my estimate and my math. Your rockets are now less effective. Does this change your gameplay? I think it does, because lock-on is very good for the Gladiator. When he goes into his ropes, you can lock on for free damage right there. Whenever he goes and gets staggered and recovers, more rockets there. You can go meat hook in the air, which is a really good Gladiator strat, to get free rockets in there too. He is stronger, he is buffed, and he is more dangerous now. So Cacodemons got a little buff too. I think they might have been over-dialed and over-tuned just a little bit. Check this clip out. We're going to watch it, and in slow motion too. All right, watch the Kakko in the front. Get ready. Watch. Oh, look at that. Did you see that super dash that the Kakko did? Let's see that again in slow motion real quick. He completely just dashes right in front of the Slayer. Now, I get why they did that. When Kakkos are at a distance, they're not really that big of a threat, unless they're like the rapid-fire machine gun kind of Kakko. But having that super dash, especially early game, would make them a lot more dangerous. All of the sudden, I mean, you saw how quick that was. The Kakko just ran right into his face. That'll also affect if maybe you're doing a BFG blast. The Kakko will eat the blast instead of having it go sent across the arena. They could also body block you in a way. They could bite you, shoot you. The Cacodemon has a dash now, and it's vicious. Are you ready to fight him? Shoutouts to Pasky for the tomato Cacodemon clip. Sorry I didn't get to give you your shout in the middle of the clip itself, but thank you. All right, so I still have a few more things that I need to tell you, but I do want to say if you've learned something or you like what I'm able to give to you, be sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. It really helps the support, and we're almost to 1,000 subscribers at the time of this video making. All right, on to the next topic. Next up, I'd like to touch on something that I think is probably true, and I'm curious to know what you think as well. So a lot of speedrunners are upset for the No Major Glitches category because skips have been patched out, but I think there's a reason behind that. See, on the surface, and it does suck that all these things got patched out, and you basically have to use the down patch if you want to play on a No Major Glitches speed run. But I think there's a reason behind that. Like, check this out here. Let's roll the clip. So we look at Face here. He's going to go up to that area right there. So he takes the jump pad, he sets up normally, and he's going to jump right across to the rune to be able to advance in the run. But wait, there's an invisible wall there now. So he has to have a workaround. He's going to take this rune, grab it through the wall, and look, you can see the gun pointing through in the hand, so he made it. Crisis averted, right? Well, not so fast. He then begins to sink into the ground like quicksand, and the enemies are below, and they're shooting on him, and he can't get out. What is he going to do? He is stuck. He is dead. He is going to die. So what would be the idea behind this? Now, we know that skips were addressed as being removed, but I think it's in preparation for Invasion, because think about it. Think about this, okay? In Invasion, it's essentially going to be multiplayer. It is going to be multiplayer. And all of these maps that are single player are now multiplayer maps. When you have multiplayer maps, you don't want different glitches or skips, out of bounds, whatever, to where a player can go out of the map when they're playing against a real player, especially, or two in this case. So I think that's why they patched it out. We know that Invasion is coming, and it's a very strong driving force behind what they're planning it right now at id. Actually, I have a quote from Hugo I'd like to read. Now, this is just before the 1.2 launched, but Hugo says, and this is before 1.2 released, "One new demon is in development and coming along nicely. There's a new map almost ready," which we now know is Torment. "We are focused on DLC, Invasion, and Ranked, and working hard to get those out there ASAP. Then we will get the new demon out there. I'll tell you, COVID and work from home is a challenge, but we are cranking along. Latency is going to get better in the next upcoming patch," which was 1.2. So that's why they did it, I think. So people can't jump out and do out-of-bounds skips, which normally are okay in a speed run, but in a multiplayer combat setting would really break the game. Hey, Alston from the future here. As I'm editing this video, I wanted to make it completely clear that although I haven't actually done an internal speedrun yet, I did do 2016. I'm a part of the speedrun community. We share a lot in common with efficiency and optimization love, and I wish that there was a way to toggle, as I'm smashing my microphone here, to toggle on and off. I know it's a lot harder than that. I know it's an engine-based level thing. I just wish there's a way, because I'm sure it sucks to have to downpatch, not to get to work on your series, not to get to work on battle mode. I just wish there's a way, but I understand why it was done. I mean, I get it. I do. Anyway, back to the video. Something I might talk about later, if you want me to, the impact of Blood Punch. Blood Punch has been fixed in this update, which is very nice. It's very good to know. There's really not a lot to say about it without going into more detail, like I said, another video type topic. So again, let me know if you want to see that, but just know that your Blood Punch will feel better now. It will feel better, more safe, and efficient. Well, anytime you get in a demon's face, you have to be safe, because it's really, really something you have to be careful with. Planning out your falter and how you want to get in there, get back out. Anyhow, that's a whole other thing, but Blood Punch is fixed. Feels a whole lot better now. If you want me to talk about it more, let me know, because I think it would be cool. Now, there's some general enemy changes. There's a lot of them out there, but just to kind of give you what you need to know, some enemy placements have changed, extra demons here or there, some different actions. For example, I'm told the Arachnotrons and Exultia are more aggressive now. So you can expect to see, for example, maybe an extra Hell Knight in a wave, or maybe an extra Arachnotron or Carcass in different spots that maybe weren't there before. So if you see them, don't worry. It's just little tweaks that you may want to watch out for, especially with the AI. You really want to be careful, like we just talked about the Kakko demon a moment ago. The Arachnotron is also another offender that you really have to be careful for, because he is very dangerous. So keep your eyes out, keep it open for different spots and different things that may have been adjusted. The next couple things really could have their own video in a way, maybe not. So first of all, quick switching has been nerfed, but hear me out, hold on, hear me out. It's really only elite high-level quick switching that you would see at top-level speedruns and battle mode. It's the kind that's lightning fast over and over again, especially to the rocket launcher, that's been slowed down, but even unto the ballista, going back to precision bolt or anything to precision bolt. The bolt's recharge time is not canceled out or negated just by switching back to the weapon. You could see this more if you used the unupgraded precision bolt versus the upgraded, but really, unless you're like a lightning fast quick switcher, it's not really going to have any effect on you. I did some testing and you can still get some really fast swaps out even with this. You can tell, you can tell the reticle, the little reticle, it's not fully charged, but really for the vast majority of people, I think it's fine. I can quick switch just fine. I feel like it's no big deal. Unless you're a really, really, really elite switcher, and then you're going to feel it, especially in battle mode when it really comes to fruition, or speedruns too. By the way, before I go on, there is a render mode that is in Update 2 that was just released. I have a whole video already out on that, and I will link it in the card up here and in the description below if you want to see a full breakdown of what render mode is. So check this out. The patch notes did talk about some new DLC lore, and it's basically confirmed. This is cool. I'm going to read it to you. It talks about, in reference to the Torment battle mode map, the UAC fled this outpost after the Slayer prevented Hell's invasion of Earth. The Titans, once used as research specimens, remain eternal prisoners of this unholy excavation. What do I think about that? Well, we could go into a little more detail, but hey, I'm just saying, UAC, if you want to bring back chain gunners, I will fight them. You can bring all 704 from Plutonia. I will fight them. And I'm sure a lot of other people would too. I don't know. Just me speculating. I might talk more about it later. I don't know. Just want to give you a quick overview of that one. So if you learned something today, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and follow me over on Twitch. I do hope that you were able to take something away from the video today, some of the little upgrades that weren't actually talked about in Update 2. My name is Austin. Check out the render video here or the Pentagram new Easter egg video here, and I will see you in the next one. Boom! Psst. Hey, you, the secret phrase, it's...